Welcome. If you were concerned about your child or teen's organizational skills before, then their lack of organization is probably becoming much more evident now that your home has turned into a school. I'm Jill Stowell from Stowell Learning Centers, and today I want to share with you a really powerful and empowering strategy to help your children and teens become more independent and feel more successful, and hopefully give you a little break from micromanaging. So this is flow charting. And what a great strategy. We use this with our adolescents and teens in particular who really have trouble breaking down assignments or getting their homework done or turned in. And it's been such a tremendous tool. So I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see an example of a flow chart. Now, this is a really simple flow chart, but it'll give you the idea of how this works. When you build a flowchart, start and end are in ovals. And then you always use an arrow to show you where you're going next. We use a rectangle for all the steps. We use a diamond for all the questions or decisions that have to be made. So this flowchart happens to be for how to make a piece of toast. So you can see we're going to start. We put the toaster on the table. We plug the toaster into the power outlet, turn the toaster on, set the toaster to the desired degree, put 2 slices of bread into the toaster. So you can see every single little step is there. But think about how secure this feels, because you know exactly what to do next, and how successful it feels because you can just go through and check off each one of those little steps. And wow, look at how many we've completed already. So let's keep going and see how this works. So we've got our bread in the toaster. We push down the lever. We wait until the toast is ready, and then we have a diamond. So we have a decision or a question. Is the bread brown enough? If yes, you just keep going. Follow the arrow and keep going. If no, we follow this arrow down here where it says push the lever down. Wait until the toast is ready. Then we ask again, is the bread brown enough? If yes, we cool the toast for a while. Then as we go on, we have another question, is the toast cool enough? If yes, keep going. If no, we come back here to cool the toast a while. Then when it's cool enough, we remove it from the toaster, we spread the toast, and we're at the end. Now, if you take the time to sit down and break down a task with your child into these tiny little pieces, they are going to be much more successful at following that task all on their own. So let's apply this to getting schoolwork done. And you can see this flow chart looks a lot more complex. But remember, it's one step at a time and you're just following the arrows. So here we go for organizing and completing schoolwork in a remote schooling world. So we're going to start with, and we've got our oval here. And so the very first thing, the student is going to open their planner to today. So especially if you have a teenager, I would encourage you to have them use a planner, even now while they're in remote schooling, because these are habits that you can really monitor right now and they can get good at, and next school year, they're going to have it under their belt. So open their planner to today, locate the assignments for each class online, write the assignments in the planner. So just like they would at school, they're going to write their assignments in their planner for each of their classes. Now we come to a question. Do I have more than one task? If yes, then I'm going to come down here and ask another question. Should I do the easiest task first? If I decide, yes, I want to do the easiest task first, then I will number the tasks from easiest to hardest in my planner. If I say, no, I don't really want to do the easiest one first, I want to get the hard ones out of the way. Great, then number the tasks from hardest to easiest. If the answer to that, our original question here was no, do I have more than one task? They're just going to go straight over here to get out the materials for the task. But if the answer was yes, and they had to make this decision, notice that once they've numbered their tasks, they're going to go right back up here, follow the arrows up here to get out the materials for the task. So we end up in the same place. Now they're going to follow the arrows and read the instructions and look at the examples. Do I know what to do? Now I'm back to one of those decisions in a diamond. Do I know what to do? If the answer is yes, I estimate how much time it will take and keep going. If the answer is no, I'm going to ask, or your student is going to ask for help. And I like students, even after they've gotten clarification and they've asked for help, to just go back and reread those instructions, look at the examples. It's a good habit. It gets it solidified in their mind. Go back and follow the arrow, ask themselves the question, do I know what to do now? And if the answer is yes, they can move on. Estimate how much time it will take. Then set the timer for how much time they think it will take. Now, I realized here as I'm going that I probably should have put one more rectangle right here, and it should have said start the task, because remember, we want every single little step in there. So we probably should have one right here that says start the task, and then we get to another diamond. When the timer goes off, is the task finished? If yes, keep going. If no, then let's go back to estimate how much time it will take, how much more time do they need, set the timer, start the task, and when the timer goes off, now they can ask again, is the task finished? If yes, submit the assignment. A lot of times our students, they do the assignment and then it's like, oh yes, it's over, I can take a break, and they pop up and they forget to submit it. So submit the assignment, check it off in the planner, and then ask the question, are all of my tasks completed for today? If the answer is yes, then they follow the arrow and stop, they're done. But if the answer is no, then they go over, they follow the no arrow, and it says set the timer for 10 minutes, take a break. But I'm going to encourage you, when your students take breaks, no screens. Have them move around a little bit, get their body moving, get some water, set a timer so they know exactly when to come back. And then notice, as soon as they come back, they can follow the arrow, get out the materials for the next task, and follow the arrows through the whole process that we just did. This looks like a lot, but look at how small each task is. Now, this part at the beginning, well, all of it really, you and your student need to do this together. Don't just take my flow chart, but together create a flow chart. Draw it out or use one of the apps online that you can create a flow chart. It's fun to do, but there's huge value in planning it out together, because you're going to look at every single little step. That's really great executive function, thinking what are all of the steps that I need to take? What order do they need to be in? What questions do I need to ask myself along the way? That is great learning that's going to serve them forever. So take the time to really plan out these little steps, create it, and then give your student the opportunity to try to follow this all on their own. It is so empowering for them. We had a student who was in 7th grade. He was brilliant, but also creative, distractible, dyslexic, and he simply could not get his work done. His mom had to be there all of the time, micromanaging, and even with that, it was so difficult for him to get it done. He just was so disorganized in his thinking. When we taught him how to flowchart, we did it together. We brainstormed it together, and he loved it because it was visual and it felt creative to him. And when it was done, he went from being a student who looked unmotivated and unfocused to being a kid who could actually do his work all on his own. So it's a great strategy, and I hope that you have found this helpful. I'm Jill Stowell from Stowell Learning Centers. We are doing remote screenings, remote sessions with our students all across the country. Who knew that it could be so successful? Our kids are doing great, and if you have children or teens who have traditionally struggled with reading or math or study skills or organization, we can help. So if you would like to speak with someone about your child, give us a call at 877-774-0444 or go to our website, stowellcenter.com. And we will link you up with someone who can just chat with you about what's going on with your child. I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful to you, please reach down there and click that share button.